It is always a celebration here in the city of New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Superdome. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Well, as they say, if you drew it up, you couldn't have drawn it a whole lot better. That's exactly how you want to start the game. Excellent momentum off the opening kickoff.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And you look at the Saints' defense. They enter play ranked 8th against the run in the NFL.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on, because you're talking about where they rank in stopping the run. But how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 54 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Jacobs is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Jacobs again. And he'll be stopped up short as the tackle is made at about the 3. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. An incompletion there on 4th and goal from the 3. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. Throwing to start the drive. King escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
When you're backed up this deep, sometimes defenses sacrifice coverage for pass rush because they know you can only go so far on your pass drop. You get the back of the end zone. So they came after him. He took the shot downfield. He didn't connect. But, boy, that was force against force.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got a man, complete. And he's got Rome. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Saints put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Fruitby able to add the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking to throw McCarthy. He throws there, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken from just outside the 30. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10.
At their own 35-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first. The Saints at 9-3 here on the year, and they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
Back to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On the ground, here's the rookie from Notre Dame. He'll get this down to the 38. This defense for the Vikings, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. King. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 26. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. They'll run on first down. Baxter. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Here's 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Looking to throw. King. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here to add to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, the defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. At least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This now a 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. He's got the first down and more.
And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Jacobs from the gun. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
I mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Throwing is McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
On play action. Now McCarthy.
Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 more on that one and another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Josh Jacobs. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are back within a score.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
KaVontae Turpin now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. To the air with McCarthy. That one complete to Naylor. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Here's Jacobs. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
One more time with Jacobs. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal. McCarthy going to sneak it, and he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Vikings have taken the lead. Point after try forthcoming. And that makes it 14-10.
Next the score, Vikings 14, Saints 10.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. King operating from the gun. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. A point after, good by Grupe. And it's now 17-14. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Saints are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Will Walker
A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Saints.
Talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities. And this is a good one right in front of them.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. McCarthy operating from the gun. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Chase Young, his second sack of the night. And that's his second sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And partner, it's still just the third quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Here's McCarthy. That's to the left side where he's got Naylor.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Third down from the gun, McCarthy. That is caught. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson, 37 yards. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we have put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Extra point right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now King from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a play fake here on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Off the play fake. King rolling to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Slot man moves right. Now a handoff up the middle. Baxter. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From the gun on third down. King over the middle and complete to Shaheed. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. Fourth down.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a fourth down.
From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. Back to throw. King. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Vikings will take over here just shy of the 30. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
The Saints take over first and 10.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. The passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
At the 40-yard line.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. King. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. Down the sideline he goes. He's on his way. And down to the 7-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 92 yards.
What a play right there. This is just a case of get the ball into his hands and let him do his thing. He had all sorts of room to run once he caught the ball, and he's finally taken down after as big a play as you'll see all season.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings have taken a fourth-quarter lead. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
No, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Baxter. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's King from the gun on 3rd down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. It is caught by Shaheed. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Again, a good friend in football always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
They'll look to throw. It gets this complete to Shaheed. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33.
I'm starting to wonder here. Are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart, moving the ball downfield. I think they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
Back to throw. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. He'll look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Credit the sack there to Harold Landry.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, and that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So the final second.